I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Let's move on to page 5 of the Grade 2 Discovering Music Theory, and we move on to exercise 7, where we asked to consider some of the things that we've learned so far about the treble and the bass clef and ledger lines, and we need to answer if these statements are true or false. Have a look at these, perhaps try some, and then let's just work through them together to double check what we've got here. Now, exercise 7a asks us, all pitches written in the bass clef are lower than pitches written in the treble clef. Is this true or false? Little bit of a red herring statement, that really, because yes, it's true that bass clef represents notes that are low in pitch, and generally speaking treble clef represents notes that are high in pitch, but it's not true that all bass clef notes are lower than those written in the treble clef, because we've had many examples of where we can use ledger lines and we can go quite low in the treble clef. And so that's false, really, isn't it? Because the treble clef can go as low, it would just require ledger lines and so on. So that's a little bit of a sneaky statement, and that's false. We can use either clef to represent notes of the same pitch. Is it true or false that in the treble and bass clefs, middle C is written using one ledger line? Well, that's true, because we know that it's at the top of the bass clef, the bottom of the treble clef. Each one represents middle C. That's true. Is it true that in the bass clef lines are only used above the stave? Well, that's not true, because we know if we turn back to the first section, we can go lower in the bass clef. We can go much lower than this, in fact. The bass clef we can extend below and above just as we can in the treble clef. We're just extending the stave outwards in both directions, and so that's false. Is it true or is it false that the note middle C in the bass clef is in the same position as note A in the treble clef? Well, let's just think about this. I'm just going to quickly draw 1, 2, just draw a little stave, 3. We're using ledger lines, so we don't really need it, just as a reference point. So in the bass clef and the treble clef, so middle C is at the top of the bass. That's middle C. Good Boys Deserve Football, always A, B, C. That's middle C. And then we know that the lines are every good boy deserves football. F is the line, G is the space. That is note A. So although visually it looks the same, they are different notes, middle C or top A. So that's true. And then we just get a little bit of an exercise in comparing notes between the clefs. And we've got to think, what note is it? Is it higher, is it lower, or is it the same pitch? Do remember as well that sharps will raise a note by a semitone and flats will lower a note by the semitone. So here we have the C, D, E above middle C. And then here we have C, D, E above middle C, but this one is flattened, a flat lowers, and so E flat is lower than E natural. So here we have C, B, A below middle C. Here we have C, B, A below middle C, but it's flattened. A flat is lower by a semitone, and so this must be a lower pitch, if only by one semitone. And this is perhaps where it might be helpful to have your, if I just reach the scribbly piano keyboard that you perhaps had a go at, it does help. And here's my little reference. So here we have the C, middle C, and there's the B below middle C. And then here we have C, B, A sharp. So we've got a B below middle C and an A sharp. So we're looking, is the first note lower, sorry, is the second note higher, lower, or the same? We're looking at the second note, aren't we? And so here we have a B, and here we have an A sharp. So A sharp is lower than B. There we go. And so here we have middle C, and here we have middle C again, but this note is sharpened, and remember a sharp raises, so the second note is from C to C sharp, and so a sharp is higher because it raises by a semitone, so that's higher. And so here we have a C, D, E above middle C, and here we have C, D, E above middle C. That's exactly the same pitch, just changing clef. And then here we have a C, D, E, F sharp above middle C, and here we have a C, D sharp above middle C, and so we can see that F sharp is higher than D sharp. D sharp is our second note, and so D sharp is lower. And that's that exercise completed, and that's that page completed, and that's chapter 1 completed. We do get some more examples of this later on in the practice exam paper, but I suggest that you leave it for now. Just give this chance to settle, perhaps give yourself time to forget a little bit, and then we can come back to it later on in the exam paper and use it as a spot of revision. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.